Hello, how are you all doing? You all well?
Great.
Hey, so lovely to see you. I see so many familiar faces. Hi, hi to all the DRC people in the front row. You're very, very welcome.
Love the earrings. My God, they're stunning.
Thank you so much, Annie. These are my vulva earrings. So
good.
I know, yeah. I think, woman power and all that kind of stuff for the show. Yeah. So welcome to the Big Laugh in for DRCC, everyone. So just to explain to people who are watching on YouTube, so the way this is working, we have a wonderful front row audience, and that is made up of the magnificent DRCC staff. So big round of applause for all of them doing great work for us, for comedy, but also for everyone in general. So thank you very much. So yeah, welcome. And welcome to everyone. Welcome to the wider audience. And just I really want to say a huge, huge thank you to every single person in the audience for donating, for giving money so much already. We've already raised over €10,000 for DRCC. Like before the gig even started, we had it raised. So yay, delighted. So thank you all so much. And also if you feel more generous as the night goes on, you can donate more money if you want. It's not like it's going to go to waste. DRCC have plenty of use for it. So we definitely want to encourage that. So welcome everyone to the gig. Welcome to our front row. Thank you very much for joining us. This is going to be an unbelievably brilliant comedy show. Like this is just, I'm so excited. As my 5-year-old niece would say, I am super excited. So this is going to be really, really great. There's been a slight change to the lineup. So we've had 2 people who unfortunately, due to illness, had to drop out, unfortunately. So we'll send them positive well wishes to get better soon. So Catherine Bohart and Fern Brady, they're not going to be able to make it this evening. However, we have 3 super subs replacing them, and they are Fred Cook, Chris Kent, and Colm O'Regan. So there are 3 people replacing 2 people. So you're getting even more people for your €12 or whatever you donated. So, give more money if you feel like doing that for the extra people and the stress that was caused before the gig started. So yes, welcome. Delighted to have you. I hope everyone, I'm not sure if everyone caught that at the beginning, but these are my vulva earrings. They'll be featuring every time I'm on the screen. So get used to that. Also, yes. So just to say, obviously this Big Laugh in for DRCC is for DRCC. Every single cent is raised goes to DRCC because obviously charities have been hit really hard during COVID. And also obviously a lot of therapists, frontline workers working for DRCC in very difficult times. So we just really want to give them a big, great night out, big laugh in, just to give something back, and because everyone's working so hard and charities have been particularly hit. So we're just delighted to be able to help in any way. Nolene Blackwell, the Chief Executive from DRCC, is going to say a few words on DRCC and what they do.
I'm Nolene Blackwell, Chief Executive of the Dublin Rape Crisis Centre. We work to prevent the harm of sexual violence and abuse and to heal the trauma that it causes. And that's why we're so grateful to all the performers this evening for throwing this brilliant fundraiser for the centre. In Dublin Rape Crisis Centre, we listen, believe, understand and support victim survivors, including through running the national 24-hour confidential helpline. We train other people on the front line who work with victims and survivors. And we help our society to understand the importance of structures, laws, and systems that respect the rights of those victim survivors, such as the work we have done recently with comedy safety standards. Our inspiration comes from the kind of work we're doing with this group. Rape, other sexual abuse, sexual harassment spent decades, centuries in the shadows, hidden, not discussed. as a result of that abuse of power, that sense by some of entitlement to act without consent. Our society has failed to respect everyone equally and has allowed harm to happen without redress. Comedy Safety Standards, through their campaign to create a safer and more inclusive comedy scene in Ireland, have shone a light on one area where sexual harassment and abuse can and must stop. It is a privilege to work with them on this campaign, and it is a great honour and indeed a further privilege that they have put on this, the Big Laugh In, for our benefit. Thanks a million to all the organisers for all your hard work, for your great talent and your inspired energy in organising this brilliant event tonight. And thanks to all of you who made a donation to join us this evening. Enjoy the show. I know I will. Thank you.
So kind. So yeah, we're so appreciative. I will be explaining a little bit later on in the show about what Comedy Safety Standards is. It's a new performer-led organisation, and really we're just, we've gotten together to try to make comedy a safer, more inclusive place, like Nolene was saying there. And DRCC have been so incredibly kind and generous to us, and they've been providing training, and they've tailored a specific program for people in the comedy industry. And it's just about, providing a positive solution to the problems that have been just endemic in the circuit for a long time. And, really, what happened, I guess the revelations that came out last summer was sort of just the final straw for like a lot of us. So we just got together and we've been working for the last 10, 11 months together to build this up and to create this organization. And it's just about everyone working together. It's not about placing blame to anyone. It's just about like everyone working together to just make the scene safer and more inclusive for everyone. And DRCC, we genuinely couldn't have done it without your help. So we're so grateful. Thank you so much. And so we're just so delighted to be able to give something back. So just thank you so much for that. So now what about, before I bring the first act on, I just want to get to know you all a little bit, and even the people watching on YouTube. So if you can put the comments up as well. I'm seeing lots of rounds of applause and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, it's really lovely to see. I've got two computers. This is like, I don't know, it's like I'm doing, I don't know what, impressive work anyway. It's like two computers going here and all my notes. I genuinely, I swear I could be like a newsreader now, I feel like anything. I could do anything now. So I just want to get to know people a little bit before we bring on the first act. And my word, what an amazing first act. So I don't want to keep him waiting. I don't want to keep you waiting from him either. But just to get to know everyone, if everyone just put in the chat where you're watching from, if like maybe it's from a different country, or maybe it's just like, Dunleary or something. Yeah, anywhere is fine. Even if it's Ireland, it's okay. It doesn't have to be particularly exotic. Leitrim is also fine. Like whatever it is. So yeah, just stick it in the chat there. I want to just see where people are watching from. And yeah, okay. So Kilmainham. Yeah, okay. So quite close to me. Yeah. I'm currently in the Liberties at the moment. Cavantilly. Yeah. Okay. Deadly. A lot of Dublin. Okay. I'm just going to check over here. Yeah. Cool. Lots of people. Mulhuddard, nice. Okay, cool. Deadly. Seaside Clontarf. Oh, nice. Oh, hi, Nolene. That's great. Okay, cool. So that's great. So welcome, everyone. This is really, really great. So thank you so much. So also, you can use the chat function anytime I'm on screen. That's totally fine. If you want to, put in words of praise for the comedians that have just been on, that can go in the chat function when I'm on screen. But I just want to ask, when the acts are on screen, you can just sit back and relax and just watch them, show them all the love and support that you can, because they can see you. So just give them all the love and laugh and all that kind of stuff. So now so just to introduce just the layout of the show as well, just so you all know. So there's going to be 4 acts in the first half, then there's going to be a break for about 10 minutes. We reckon 10 minutes is probably long enough, because I'm sure you don't have to queue to go to the bathroom or the bar in your own house. So it's fine. So yeah, and then we're going to have 5 acts in the second half. So it's going to be a great night. I'm really, really looking forward to this. This is going to be great. So I'm just going to say a little first, just a couple of things first. I feel like I really should have started off. I normally start off all my shows by saying namaste to everyone. So namaste.
Namaste.
I was like, no one is on board with the namaste there. I thought that was like going to be like nothing. For anyone who doesn't know, namaste is yoga for I'm better than you because I'm more humble than you are. So namaste, everyone. Namaste. I do yoga. Do anyone do yoga? Give me a cheer. You do yoga?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh my word. Nice one. I love it. Oh, it's so good, isn't it? I love the smug pretentiousness of it. Oh, so good. I love it. Also, I feel, although, do you know what I feel like now though? Like I thought yoga was like the top kind of thing to be like smug and pretentious about, but sea swimmers, oh my word. How they have beaten the yoga people now. Oh my word. Like the sea swimmers, oh Jesus, they are like smugness junkies. Like they just cannot get enough. They like meet someone and constantly going on about. I was at the beach earlier this morning and I saw a guy, he was on his phone, he was like video calling somebody and he was like trying to get them into sea swimming. He was like, seriously, just come down, just go into the water, it'll change your life. Like they're like these evangelists now for like, sea swimming. Like, what the hell? And all really that you have to do to get someone into sea swimming is just buy them a dry rope. Like I do it for the dry rope. But just to say as well, I know that there's a lot of therapist people in the room, so shout out to all of those for doing the great work that you're doing. I started therapy like a while ago, and before I started therapy, I was warned about this thing called love transference. Now, if you don't know what this is where you fall in love with your therapist, right? Now, it didn't happen. A lot of people are laughing. It happened. It didn't happen to me now, to be honest. But it's like it does happen. It's super common. It happens all the time. So now I'm studying to become a therapist. Like it's lockdown. It's lockdown. There's no dating apps working. You know, it's like something has to work. But also just to just to get to go start as well. I feel like, you know, lockdown obviously has been like very, very difficult for people, and I guess like even collectively, like before lockdown, like Irish people, our self-esteem wasn't probably super, you know, like that's not great. Like everyone should have, you know, good self-esteem, good self-worth, all that kind of stuff. And so what I've been doing lately is, you know, just getting on board with affirmations. So if you don't know what affirmations are, this is where you get a load of positive words and you put them into a sentence, and then you say that sentence back to yourself and try not to vomit from the shame of it all. That's the affirmations are. And so what we're going to do next, I feel like, you know, it's really important for everyone to have like good self-esteem and stuff. So and we're going to do like, if you're on board with this, the people in the front row, we're just going to do some affirmations together. There's only 4 of them. Oh, great. Super excited about that. Lots of people are. So the way that this is going to work, I'm going to say the affirmation first, and then you as a group just repeat it back to me. Is that okay? So we're all going to be raising our, you know, self-esteem here. So the first affirmation is I deserve to be happy and successful.
I deserve to be happy and successful.
Happy and successful.
Okay, that was quite good. I feel though like there was like a bit of a misunderstanding there, which is totally my fault. Like I should have explained it better, but just this is about my self-esteem, guys. we're just going to do that again. I do feel like I didn't explain that properly. So what's going to happen is I'm going to say the affirmation, and then you repeat back to me, you Eve, and then whatever the affirmation is, right? So we'll try that again. So I deserve to be happy and successful.
You deserve to be happy and successful.
Very good, much better. Second one, I am the most beautiful human in the world. You
are the most beautiful human in the world.
I mean, I could have done without the sarcasm there, everyone. Obviously, I'm joking here. I feel like some people are like, this woman's insane. Okay, the third one. I am fine with change and don't need things to be perfect.
You are fine with change and don't need things to be perfect.
Okay, that was quite good. I feel like it could be better. So we're just going to try that one again. So I am fine with change and don't need things to be perfect.
You are fine with change and don't need things to be perfect.
Again, I really think that could be better. No, I'm joking. Sometimes I'm like, how many times can I get people to do this? But I won't do. Okay, last one, and then I'm going to bring on your amazing first guest. So yes, last affirmation. I feel good about myself and don't depend on others for validation.
You feel good
good
about yourself.
and
Yourself.
don't depend on others for
validation.
validation.
Oh, how I wish that was true. I wish that was true. Oh my word. I don't think I'd be doing comedy if that was the case, but okay, my word, are you ready for your first amazing act of this amazing lineup, this amazing night? Also, if anyone wants to tweet about this show, the hashtag is #BigLaugh4, like the number 4, DRCC. So that's the hashtag. So yeah, just like tweet away. And also it's @ComedySafety. That's our handle on the socials. So if you want to tweet about that, and their Dublin Rape Crisis Centre is @DublinRCC. So if you want to just like get tweeted, because like obviously if there's no record of this on social media, the gig didn't happen. So we just need to be putting things out on social media. So our first guest, oh my gosh, like I am really, really excited to see him perform. He's an incredibly accomplished podcaster, comedian, very, very funny, lovely human. So his podcast, The Irishman Abroad, and also Irishman in America. He's a regular contributor to at BBC 5 Live. His Notions 11, that's it. Notions 11 is on the RTE player. Check it out. Really, really good. I mean, he's just like, I was kind of like writing up his bio and I was like, what has he not done? He's very accomplished. He also runs and plays basketball, which, I mean, the basketball thing is one of my favorite things about him. So please welcome onto your screens, onto your virtual stage, Jarlath Regan.
Hello, everyone. Hello from London. And a happy Father's Day weekend to everyone who can't read a calendar. That is my absolute favorite Zoom gig joke to do, just to watch the panic that descends across the front row. Just that brief moment of, oh, fuck, did we forget? No, you're all good. This is it. We are doing a thing. This is like it has a Eurovision feel to it, doesn't it? There's the Eurovision was the first ever Zoom call. Everybody knows this. It was amazing how little it's improved since. Zoom meetings and Eurovision are still shit. Both are still too long. Anytime you do a Zoom meeting, way too long. Eurovision, the exact same. And when it's all over, you think to yourself, I'm never doing that again. But you know you will. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Big Laugh In. It is my pleasure to be here and to get to look into your houses. It is because look, in reality, we would all love to be doing this show in person. Ideally, I would imagine we would have packed out Vicar Street for this and the brilliant work that the Dublin Rape Crisis Centre does. But we're here, and the benefit, like it is fun to take the mickey out of the front row, but there is nothing quite like taking the piss out of the front row at a Zoom show, because in a gig, you have to imagine how pathetic people's lives are. But with Zoom, I get to see into your houses and see the poor decisions that you've made, but also just the crazy stuff that occurs at Zoom. There's a couple of people that have disappeared out of the Zoom picture here. Katrina and Tom, welcome. Tom, you look like you are dialed in, like this is a quiz show and you're going to buzz in at any moment. I know the answer. Tara Healy, you definitely have a child. Is there a child involved?
There's two, actually.
There's a child just out of picture. This is the difficult thing. Look, and he said, good stuff. There they are. Sticking the heads in. Good stuff. There was no other option there, was there, Tara? They weren't going to go to bed. That's all there is to it. We also have only one person, interestingly, Jennifer Gavin, who has mastered the Zoom background. Jennifer, fair play to you. That is an achievement. The beach where we would all love to be right now. It is great to have you. And Eileen, we have to give a special shout to Eileen, whose partner there seems to be in some kind of driving hot seat of some sort. Is that you get a special chair for you? Sit in the special chair tonight. And Eileen will content herself with the stool that you've provided her with. This is as close as we're going to get to a live gig. So it is fantastic that so many of you have come along and that you're going to have a great, and we've a lot to celebrate. I know it's tough, but the fact that the vaccine is here is huge. I mean, a year ago, I did an interview with a professor in Harvard who said it would be another 5 to 6 years before a vaccine arrived. I know, and here we are. And like Eve said at the start, I'm not concerned about the vaccine. I'm not concerned about what's in the vaccine, except for the large quantities of smugness that it seems to produce. Now, I'm living in London, and the unjustified smugness of the English has been a big problem for a long time. We are all aware of this, right? And the problem here is that now we're seeing an outbreak of a new strain of smugness in England, because this one is totally justified. It's very hard. At the start of the lockdown, you were like, Ireland's doing the best, we're doing the best, we're the best in the class, we're actually doing it better than everybody else. And now you're kind of looking at the English and going, yeah, no, actually you've done a really good job now. I can't actually argue with this. But the UK decided to vaccinate all elderly people first, as you know. That was the policy. And I, for one, thought that was a bit much. I mean, all the elderly. I mean, we've met. Like, my problem is that not all elderly people are nice. I think we can all agree on that. It just seems like such a broad brushstroke. All old people, like surely just ask them a few questions, like, have you ever said the sentence, I blame the foreigners? Well, then back of the queue for you, you'll get it eventually. Second question, have you ever said a sentence along the lines of, and what if I wanted to identify as a penguin? Get to the back of the feckin' queue. You're getting a vaccine way late. And the final question, and this is one that I don't think any old person could escape, have you ever said the sentence, I think you're being too sensitive? That, to me, should disqualify you from getting the vaccine. Ireland hasn't done that. I think we're all aware of that. Ireland hasn't done that. I don't know why. I think the fear was that they'd vaccinate all the elderly people and they would then demand that the pubs were opened for them and them only, which, let's face it, would have been the most adorable thing ever. Old people congregated in pubs, pulling pints for themselves, old people as bouncers on the door. It would have been amazing just to watch that take place. And obviously the fear was that then that would produce people making fake bus passes. There'd be people greying up to try and get in, getting to the door of the pub saying, I can't remember my age. Does that make me old enough? Like, I don't know about you, but let's get a cheer from the people who can't get over the skepticism, like the anti-vax movement. I just can't, the skepticism isn't rooted in reality for me. Like, you've got all these appointments in the UK that aren't being met, like people who, grand, you don't believe, they're going, I don't believe in it. I don't know what's in it. But then tell them that you're not going to go to your appointment because the doses are going in the bin, like they're getting thrown away. And I saw a guy on the news the other day over here saying, I'm not going to take it because I don't know what's in it. He was standing outside Spar eating a sausage roll. I mean, you couldn't fucking write it. Anyway, we need like a rat line, don't we? We need like a phone line that you can ring when you hear your neighbor who is skeptical of the whole concept of COVID-19. You can ring and go, that's Tony from 27 Royston. And he said in January, he thinks it's all fake. He shouldn't get a vaccine. I'm just all for putting people to the back of the queue because at the moment, Boris is coming under a lot of pressure to, give his spare vaccines to Ireland, which I think we can all agree is the right thing to do. He has shitloads of them. They're coming out his ears. He is tipping people with vials of this shit. I swear, he is the Augustus Gloop of the vaccine factory. No, Augustus, do not drink from the vaccine lake. You'll spoil it for all the other children. That's Boris. And I've come to, I don't know what kind of a world we're living in, but he is now seen as a genius. That'll tell you how crazy shit has got. Like, how long will it take for Ireland to say, yeah, Boris, we'll buy those. Yeah, we'll buy those vaccines off you with no plan to ever pay him, right? That's what we should be going, yeah, no, we'll buy all those spare vaccines off you. Then take the doses, administer the doses, and then everybody agree that if the phone rings and it's an English number, do not answer it. Plan. That's the plan from here. It's the same rule and plan I used with Extravision back in the day. Occasionally someone will accidentally answer the phone. You'll be like, usual suspects. No, we definitely didn't rent that. I haven't seen it. Is it any good? Oh, it says it's on the screen. No, wasn't me. That's how we put Extravision out of business. We'll do the same to England. But it has been a huge challenge. Like, all jokes aside, it's been a massive challenge. Like, we get it. It's more challenging times than ever, let's face it. But maybe the most challenging thing of all has been attempting a video call with any elderly relative of any, like, I mean, it's just, that should go on your CV if you have pulled that off, because you get a number of versions of it, don't you? You get this one, you go, can you see me? Can you see me now? You're coming in sideways. I don't know what's going on. I get this one a lot. How are you, Jarlath? How are you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know why I can't hear you. And then my father's shouting at me because he can't see me. He can't see me on like a regular audio call. Like I don't know what to do with it anymore. I mean, it's been hard. It's been tricky. It's trickier for a lot of other people. I know, but my situation is very specific. I'm a comedian and a podcaster, and I've been working from home for a long, long time. And that's tricky because particularly a few weeks back, I had a conversation with someone about whether a comedian podcaster is an essential service. And apparently asking that question is a waste of police time. But I will be honest, I'll be completely honest with you. I am so proud to have been asked to be part of the Big Laugh In. The comedy safety standards it's so crazy that we need this, but we need it. And I'm massively grateful for the Dublin Rape Crisis Centre and the work they've done to bring this to reality. The money that's being raised, that's going to them tonight. If you are watching this now and you think my 12 euros was well spent, you probably have another 2. Donate it now. Give a little bit extra. Massive thanks to Alison Spittle and Eve and everyone who has put this together, and to all of you volunteering at the centre. You're legends. Thank you so much, and have a great night, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Oh my word, Darla, thank you so much. That was incredible. Really brilliant. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support and the kind words as well. Thank you very much. And yes, it is a bit crazy that an organisation like Comedy Safety Standards has to be set up, and that we spent the last 10 months working to try and make the scene safer. Like literally all we're asking is just don't rape or sexually assault anyone. Like that's it. Like that's the level that we're at in the comedy scene at the moment, which you would think you wouldn't have to ask, but seemingly we very much do. And but anyway, it's at least we are doing it, and hopefully people will be on board, and DRCC are helping us to create a better world. So thank you, DRCC. Thank you very much, Jarlath. I'm going to keep the show going because we have an amazing lineup, like I said. So the next performer, I'm very, very excited to watch her perform. I've heard amazing things. We're in for such a treat, everyone. So the next person coming on stage, her name is Sakisa. She's one of the most new and exciting acts in the UK. She's delighted crowds with her fearless and vivacious personality and immediate warmth. And like, I'm really building this up now a lot, aren't I? But on top, I think it's totally deserved, because on top of numerous radio and TV credits, she's also created and hosts 2 amazing female-led live shows, Girl Code and Stand Up for Women, an annual comedy fundraiser for Solace Women's Aid. I mean, how amazing is she already? She's currently working on her debut stand-up hour, which was nominated for Best Newcomer at the Leicester Comedy Festival in 2020. Please give a huge round of applause, super warm welcome for Sakisa.
Hello, thank you so much for reading out the bio that I wrote myself. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, my name is Sakisa. I hope you lot are doing well. Obviously, we're still in lockdown. We're still here. Well, we're kind of like easing out of it, aren't we? We're just kind of like little days just coming out of lockdown. 2020 was obviously a very crazy year, and I was quite interested about what was going on in 2020, mainly because one major thing happened to me in 2020, and that was the fact that my father decided he was going to purchase an indoor sauna. I would love to show you the picture. There we go, and there it is. Yes. So who purchases an indoor sauna? Apparently my father. Why? I have no idea. It's only been used twice. And also it was purchased in August. It was sunny. We don't need an indoor sauna. Also we're black. So why? Very very weird. He still hasn't answered the question why he's purchased an indoor sauna. I asked him numerous times because he still lives with me, and I say it that way because I purchased the flat that my parents have been living in for the last 30 years, 10 years ago. So my parents live with me. So you can imagine rent day is a bitch. Okay, rent day is a bitch for them. All those times they made me do homework, fuck you. And I say that with my father laying on the floor. But the last thing I did before we went into lockdown was I went on jury service. And I don't know if anyone's been on jury service before. It's quite interesting, the process. And it was at the Old Bailey that I did my jury service, which was obviously the most prolific and court in the UK. And I turned up and I was quite disappointed at the fact there was no Wi-Fi. No Wi-Fi at the Old Bailey. I had to download all my Netflix using my 3G. Very upset about that. But I turned up and there was like 1,000 people around me, and I was looking around thinking that these are the jury of my peers, quite worried about the state of our society if that was the case, because everyone looked like there was 1 hour away from being a defendant. I was very concerned, and I sat down on day one filling in my form, and this white man sat next to me and he said to me, I'm not going to fill in the form because I'm going to tell the judge that I'm racist. Should you be telling me this? And he was like, no, I'm just trying to get out of jury service. So I'm going to tell the judge that I'm racist. And I'm like, again, should you be telling me this? And I said to him, well, if you're going to tell the judge that you're racist and therefore need to get out of jury service, you are therefore assuming that the defendant is of ethnic minority, which if you look in the book, sounds like racism. There it is, just below thinking Black Lives Don't Matter, and just above thinking Ainsley Harriott and Lenny Henry are the same person. See it right there. There it is. And he was like, no, I'm not racist. I just don't see colour. And I was going, hi, hey, hi. But I think that statement in itself is quite interesting because, if anything, I think white people do see colour the best. I think you lot are great at seeing colour. Like, you lot see a lot of things that other races don't see, like the Loch Ness Monster or ghosts or the inside of number 10, things like that. So I got up and I walked away from him, and like day one was quite boring. And I don't know if, like I said, if anyone's been on jury service, they don't pick 12 people straight out the back. They pick like 20 to 30 people to take down, and then they pick you out randomly for the final 12. The whole process feels like an audition for X Factor. We're all in it together, and like when you go down picked into 20 and 30 like 20 and 30 of you in groups, you're feeling like you're going into boot camp. And day 2 this happened. Day 3 I didn't get picked into the final 12. Day 4, same thing happened, went down, didn't get picked into the final 12. Day 5, the same thing happened, got taken down, didn't get picked into the final 12. I was feeling like a reject at this moment. I was like, Simon, come and pick me. I just want to get into the judges' houses. Come on, I've got a sob story. I'm from South London. I'm Black. Pick me. Now, but day 6, I got picked, and I was very excited on day 6 because the defendant was what? Yay! Very excited about that. Because I watch a lot of true crime documentaries. Because I am Black, I need to know how to get away with some murder when the police come knocking at my door. So it is interesting when I was on the jury, because everyone else wasn't happy being on jury. I was very excited being on the jury because I was like, where were you at, Peter? You're meant to be at home at 11 o'clock. You wasn't meant to be seeing Laura at 12 o'clock. What is going on with you? Writing that stuff down. Very excited. But the most interesting part about jury service was the deliberation. The reason being is because they took everything away from us at that moment of time, like our phones, our iPads, people's iWatches. They took all those away. And after an hour of like not having anything on me, I was getting really anxious. Like, I was like, I don't know what's going on Twitter. Someone tell me what's happening on Twitter. Has Piers Morgan said something stupid? I need to know. Like, I was feeling really, really anxious. But when we started deliberation, it was on a Friday. And I realized that even though I thought the defendant was guilty, and it was very clear that he was guilty, if I agreed with everyone on the jury that he was guilty, that meant I would have to go to work on Monday. So I was like, can we just talk about this a little bit more? Can we just review the evidence just a little bit more? And I really didn't want to go to work on Monday. And like I said, this was on the Friday, and we were going back and forth with the charges. There were 13 charges, going back and forth with the charges. And I realized that I was getting a bit frustrated. So I wanted to go outside for a cigarette. And it turns out I was the only one on the jury that smoked. And if you don't know, you have to ask the usher for permission to leave the room in order to go outside. So I said to the usher, is it okay if I go outside for a cigarette? And he said, that's perfectly fine. You can do that. But if you're going to go outside, everyone else has got to come with you. So I walked outside with 11 other jurors, one usher, 12 people behind me, like I had an entourage, like I was Beyonce up in this bitch. Like, I woke up like this. I woke up like this. Yes. So that's why I'm called Sakisa. Just one name, because I'm a bit of a diva. But Sakisa, obviously, I will say is a unique. I can't even speak today. Is a unique name. It's a very, very unique name. It's a name that you're never going to hear of again. And I asked my mum during lockdown about my name, and my mum tells me that I was named after an African queen, and that my name means faithful. But my dad tells me my name was constructed after a game of Scrabble. So you can imagine the 12 points were not worth it. But the main reason why I have this unique name in terms of Sakisa is because I'm originally from Barbados. And it's very interesting because you can tell I don't have a Barbados accent. I've been living in the UK for a very long time, to the point where I now have got a British passport. Woo! Some people are not happy about that. That's perfectly fine because of Brexit. I appreciate that. But if anyone in case wants to get a British passport, I'm going to share to you how you get one. Okay. You got to do this thing called a Life in the UK test. Has anyone heard of it? No? If you haven't heard of it, please look online. It's a very bad pub quiz. Okay. And I know this because I attempted to do it 4 times and I failed it 4 times. And that is very interesting for me because I'm an immigration lawyer. That used to be my goddamn day job. Yeah. So what I'm saying, guys, is if anyone needs a British passport, just come find me. I've got 4 in my drawer. They're £100 each. Okay. Because I'm a hustler. People love to talk to me about immigration, especially in the UK being a problem, that immigrants just coming over here stealing all our jobs. And I'm just like, when was the last time you was in a kebab shop thinking, yes, you stole my job? Not thinking that, you just want your kebab so you can take your drunk self home. I seem to realize there's people in a third world country that just want to escape poverty and debt, that just want to come to the UK, a first world country, to experience flat shares and smashed avocado. And poverty and debt, because we are in the UK after all. But it's obviously very interesting when it comes to immigration. I've been thinking about it a lot during lockdown, and I think I've solved the immigration problem. And I've done it, and I figured this out by the means of, if someone wants to come over, I think they should be entitled to come over. But if they want to stay, I think that person, that immigrant, should then challenge a British person for their citizenship. That's what I think should happen. I think there should be some sort of trade. That's what I think should happen. I think it should be 1 in, 1 out. I'm calling it a border exchange program. That's what I've decided to call it. And I obviously know that people in Ireland and Northern Ireland are very happy because you lot have got your own passports. You're like, we are going to be excited. We are going to be still going to Europe. Yay. Well, the rest of us are stuck. That's why I'm going back to Barbados. I'm like, no, scrap this. I'm going back home. Because being in the UK and I live in London, in South London, and it's been very interesting, especially because I am an only child and everyone around me are very desperate for me to have kids, to the point my friends keep sending me pictures of their babies on cards. I think it's because they think it's going to make me happy. I don't know why. And I'm just like, if I want to see pictures of your babies, I would follow you on Instagram. Like, stop that. But also, one of these cards read on it that in 2020 has been really hard, but I learned how to walk in 2020. And I read it and I was like, well, I learned how to eat food off my tits in bed in 2020. Who is winning? Who is winning? Me. I'm winning. But I don't know about anyone else. Like, I have had a massive problem with lockdown because a lot of people have been inviting me to their baby showers on Zoom. And I don't know about you, but I've got nothing against babies. It's just that I don't understand why babies get so many parties. Like, they get the baby shower, they get the gender reveal party, first scene party, christening party, who's the daddy party. Why does there need to be so many parties? I don't understand it. And also, I appreciate that new parents are excited to bring new life into this world, but why can we not throw me a party for the fact that nothing's coming out my vagina? Can we just throw me a party, please? Why is that not happening? And also, I'm very upset that a lot of people assume that I must bring a present to a baby shower, because I don't see why I should do that, because I don't know if me and this baby are going to get along. This baby could be a twat. I don't know. That's why my friends don't get presents until they're 6 years old. But I really appreciate you lot having me on this gig. It's been absolutely amazing. But I will leave on this, that one thing that came out of 2020, and obviously this lockdown situation, was obviously Black Lives Matter. And I hope you lot feel that Black lives do matter. This is normally when people clap, you lot are not clapping. Okay, fine. Okay. I had a lot of my friends slide in my messages, send me DMs to let me know very supportive of the cause, if there's anything they can do. And I was like, yeah, you can send me some money. You can send me some money. That'd be great. But I get stereotyped quite a lot, and I hate when it happens. And the last thing, one of the last conversations I had recently was with this man, and he was like, where are you from? And I was like, London. He was like, no. Where is your home? Because your name is Sakisa. And I was like, oh, okay. You want to know about my cultural background, so I'll tell you. So I was born to a mother from Barbados, and I'm the only child, and yes, was named after an African queen, because why the fuck not? Okay? Just because I talk like this doesn't mean I'm a recipe for jerk chicken, okay? Just because everyone you know sounds like you has a name that you can pronounce, it doesn't work like that anymore, because it's 2021. Yes, I am a woman that has 3 jobs, my own car, my own mortgage, and I still got money in the bank because I'm a boss. Bitch, and it's 2021. Yes, I still live in a council estate, because the council estate doesn't provide drug dealers and prostitutes now. They provide lawyers, doctors, and engineers, because it's 2021. And before you do ask, yes, I do know who my dad is. And he was like, no, oh God, no. I just wanted to know where your home is, because I'm your taxi driver. And I was like, okay. That is a speech wasted. You lot have been absolutely lovely, carrying supporting the cause. I work for a domestic and sexual violence charity in London. I work for Solace Women's Aid. So this is obviously very important for me to do. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it is Twix Comedy, Twix like the chocolate. Don't ask, it's not because of this. Okay. I'll get this out of the way right now. Okay. I'm not called Twix because I like 2 fingers. Okay. I prefer a Kit Kat. And I don't like to take breaks. Thank you so much. Enjoy your night.
Oh my word, Sakisa, that was incredible. Oh my God, thank you so much. Jeez, how amazing was Sakisa? One more round of applause, everyone. That was fantastic. Oh my word. Okay, oh, that was like my new woman crush. That is what that is there now. That's what's happening. Thank you so much, Sakisa. And everyone, just to say again, like all these amazing acts on the someone's shouting at me there, or the takeaway is coming in or something. I don't know what's happening there. All these amazing acts that are on tonight are giving up their time and amazing talents, all for DRCC. No one is getting paid, which I'm sorry about, but it is for a great cause. And also I see, thank you so much everyone in the audience, you're donating. The donations are going up and up and up, so thank you so much. We're almost at 11,000. Like, this is incredible. I love you all so much. Thank you so much. This is so incredible. Thank you. If you want to donate, It's idonate.ie/comedy, same donate link as before. So just thank you so much. Okay, I'm just going to keep the show going. I am very, very excited for this next. Oh yeah, David, thank you. David has popped the link into the chat there for the Zoom people to donate, and it's also in the YouTube comments as well. So thank you, and thank you so much. Everyone's giving lovely feedback to the acts in the Zoom and YouTube chat. So thank you so much. Keep that coming after the acts are on as well. That's really great. Okay, our next act, one of my favorite comedians, genuinely. I think she's just incredible. You all are going to know her without, I barely even need to read any bio for her because everyone is going to know who she is. But she's a contributing writer for the New York Times, because she lives there now, unfortunately. She left our shores. And she's a comedian who's performed obviously all over the world. Her latest essay collection will be published by Penguin US in 2022. And she hosts a climate justice podcast with Mary Robinson, a massive icon of a person also. And it's entitled Mothers of Invention. This excellent comedian and wonderful human being is Maeve Higgins. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eve. Thanks for organizing this as well.
Thanks for doing it.
It's been so fun, and thanks to you and Alison and everyone who organized it. I was actually just going to take this opportunity to tell you about the wedding that I'm planning. So I'm excited to get any feedback. Okay, so I've been using my time in lockdown to plan my wedding and also proposal. So it has to start with the proposal, which I think basically the dream would be for somebody to propose to me on my deathbed, because it's such a nice, like, it is ultimately an empty gesture, but it's just, there's something so romantic about that, just to be proposed to on your deathbed. And also I think importantly, it would give you something to focus on, you know, like other than, it will give me something to focus on other than my own demise. Like basically I'll be able to drag myself out of the hospice for dress fittings, and you know, say now that it is a terrible kind of a wasting disease, that would actually go really well with becoming a bride. You know, the dressmakers, they wouldn't bat an eyelid because brides shrink like we're supposed to. And then I would go to the florist as well, and in like a wicker wheelchair, and when I'd be so weak and tiny, and the florist would be like, do you cough for roses or cough twice for carnations, you know? And I do a little, you know, a little bit of spray, a little blood, and I'd make sure that I would die before my wedding day, and that would be to save money, and because you know what? Frugal girls, everyone loves a frugal girl. And then I think that would like make my funeral really heart-wrenching, you know, because it would be a priest, you know, I would make a priest do. I'm not really in contact with them anymore since I went out. It was a long time ago. I was like 13. But the priest would focus on how great I was. That's what you do at funerals. You rarely trash the dead. So they'll be like, you know, oh, she was so, you know, she was so wonderful, and she would always tip, and like, you know, she was so happy to have gotten engaged at last. And, you know, he'd say like, just before she went, she whispered to me, I'm going to be a bride, you know, and everyone will just be and then the flower girls, they'll wear like little black dresses, and they won't, you know how they have to smile usually walking up the aisle, but they'll be like like they'll have to make sad faces, and then open coffin, smile, and I'll have just my little hands, you know, like that, and everyone will see, oh my god, she has a gorgeous French manicure, and just a simple diamond. And obviously I'll be buried in my wedding dress and with my hair in a, but like not severe, like like this, you know. But like not a tight chignon, but like a chignon. And my dress will be mermaid style, and bordering on fully fishtail, and I will have sleeves with the, you know, the V-shaped part that comes, but that actually might look a little bit too busy, but okay, we'll see. Okay. I'll definitely have a veil. I'll have a veil, obviously, and then my very tearful fiance will lower that just for they clamp the lid on the coffin. And I think it will be an ivory colored coffin, and there'll be all cherubs on swans, and then the speeches, the speeches will be real tearjerkers. Like, I think my dad, he would set like a dignified but ultimately very devastated tone, and he'll accidentally let slip that I was his favorite child, and my sisters would be like, what the fuck? But they won't be able to fight with him or anything, and they'll be wearing like strapless lemon bridesmaids dresses, and they'll have black sashes, and they'll just be so pissed off. And actually I actually do think that I'm his favorite, and I know that I'm my mother's favorite child, because ever since I was a tiny child, I'm one of 8, and ever since I was a tiny little girl, my mother, has always said to me right up to this present day, Maeve, of all my children, it's your mental health I worry about the most. So they think of me often and fondly, and they worry. So I think obviously that it will obviously be my fiance who will close proceedings, on his little voice, shaky and but handsome. Oh my God. But his voice will be trembling, but he'll manage to keep it together to tell everyone, oh my God, Maeve was like such a genius in the kitchen, and like she was just a really able washerwoman, in the utility room, like what, all this, and a firecracker in the bedroom, like this kind of thing, like not too many details, but he let them know like that I was okay in a lot of different departments. And then, and maybe he'll say something at the end like, and now she's an angel in heaven, like she's an angel in heaven, and I will never touch another woman, something like that. And then he will collapse, even though physically he's big guy, like he's like strong and toned, but he will collapse because he's just so sad, and he just feels like, oh, it's so unfair, like she's so stunning and like hot, and then but he'll have to hop up again, because I will have left strict instructions that he needs to carry my coffin by himself. And because I think that will really heighten the sadness of the audience, and I think it will be a physical struggle, but if he loves me enough to want me as his wife, then he will love me enough to come up with a system of ropes and pulleys to get my boxed up body to the graveyard. So thank you so much for listening. Thanks for being here, and enjoy the rest of the show. Bye.
Thank you. Maeve, will you just come back on there for a second?
Of course.
Nolene Blackwell, the Chief Executive of Dublin Rape Crisis Centre, is offering her celebrant services for your wedding.
Oh my God, Nolene, that is such a beautiful offer.
Now, she has also offered to officiate your funeral as well. So
I know what she's after. She's after my man. She's trying to get my beautiful widower. Oh, nice try, Nolene. Okay. No, you're all invited to my wedding / funeral, and there will be sandwiches.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Eve. Good job tonight. Thanks, everyone.
One more time for Maeve. Oh my word. Love Maeve. That was so good. Thank you so much for those offers as well, Nolene. That's great. No. That's really good. Okay. Just before I bring on the last act of the first half, like how quickly has that gone by? My word. Also, just thanks, Maeve. Also, I see loads of people are tweeting under the hashtag Big Laugh for DRCC. Thanks so much. There's lovely tweets, lovely comments going there. So that'd be great if people could keep that going. That'd be really good. Like, let's get it trending or something. Like, that'd be good. I mean, I see something like, like Save Talca Park is trending. I mean, that doesn't need to be. That's just I'm only joking. I'm sure that's a worthy cause, but just not as important as this. So let's get tweeting and everything, and so many donations are coming in as well. We're like, oh my God, this is incredible. So thank you so much for all of your generosity and everything. Also, just feel free to just message a load of your friends, even who aren't at the gig, and just tell them donate to this thing, and just do that. Also, because this link is still going to be available for like about a week afterwards, so if people want, they can watch the show back. But give us money to do it. I think it's totally worth it. I mean, these 3 amazing acts were just on, so it's just incredible. And we've many more amazing acts to come. So just before I bring on the last act of the first half, I just want to, like I said, just explain a little bit about comedy safety standards. So the reason that we teamed up with DRCC is, like I said, they're providing tailor-made training and education for the people in the comedy circuit. So we're just so grateful. Like, we genuinely couldn't really exist, I don't think, as a group without them, because they're just providing such a great service for us. So we're just so appreciative of that again. But also just to say, like, a little bit of background on like how this group started. So it started off not being called Comedy Safety Standards. That's the like public face of it, because the private face of it, what we're called privately, is SOTS, which stands for Sick of This Shit. So we organized ourselves based on that, because we're just sick of this shit happening. And we were definitely, it was just, like I said, it was the kind of final straw last June, because we've all heard and experienced so many people in the comedy scene who have since left the comedy scene because of their experiences in it, which is just like not on. I realise, sorry, now to the last act coming on, I will bring this back up, don't worry, I'm not going to like make it very depressing for everyone before I be like, what the fuck is this? Terrible. Awful way to introduce me. But no, so like we were just kind of like, this has to get better, and people shouldn't be leaving the scene because feeling unsafe and or worse or whatever. So I just want to say to anyone who is watching, who was, has been affected and has had to leave the scene, or to the people who spoke out, just to say that we were doing all this for you. You definitely were a massive inspiration. Your courage has definitely been a massive driving force for us all to keep going, and we're just doing all this for you guys. So thank you so much for your bravery and your courage, and we just want to honor your experiences as well, and just try and make the scene safer for people coming up, and so that they can flourish in the comedy scene, and just make it a bit more interesting and more diverse, and it's just better all around, for a better, more inclusive, safer society. But also just to say, like, it started off with lots and lots of different meetings last June, and then we've developed a core group, so a SOTS core group. I just want to say a big thanks to everyone in the SOTS core group. You know who you are. Thank you very much for being part of all this and everything. And then we developed subgroups. So I just want to give a particular mention to all the people in the subgroup. So in the SOTS gig working group, so these are responsible for putting on this amazing show tonight. So we've Aoife, Stephanie, Pauline, Alison, Blohin and Ian. So if we just give all of them a round of applause. Thank you so much to them. Also we have the SOTS social media group, and that is Aoife, Stephanie, Pauline and Ian. So yay! So thanks to them. Also our SOTS website. We have a website. Our website is www. as all of them are, they all start like that, comedysafetystandards.com, and that went live today. Yay! So we're kind of launching that website today. So it's comedysafetystandards.com, so you can check it out. It's amazing, and it'll just get better and better. It's really, really incredible, and so much work has gone into the website, into this gig, like everything. It's just, I'm really so proud of all these people, and really grateful to be part of this movement and group. And the website, the SOTS website group, that's Stephanie, Sahar, Enya, MJ and Blohin. So big round of applause to all of them as well. And just to say, I'm in all of those groups, so fair play to me as well. Particular thanks. So I just want to say to Aoife, to Stephanie, to Alison, Sahar, Ruth Hunter, so just big round of applause to all of those people who have done incredible work. They really have put in so much work. So just really big, huge thanks. And also to Pauline. Pauline, thank you so much for all your work, your support, and for being such a much needed listening ear to me numerous times over the last few months. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Also, just a quick thanks as well to Ciara O'Dowd. She helped us. She's the legal researcher that helped us with the code of conduct. So did Eamon, and MJ, Anya and Ruth as well worked on the code of conduct. So thanks to everyone who was working on that. Dwayne Dugan, thank you so much as well for all your help and support. He designed the amazing poster. Stephanie designed one of them, and Dwayne designed the big laughing one. So big thanks to Dwayne. Thank you very, very much. It's just incredible. So many people have been just so sound and really, really helpful. And I'm just really, really grateful to everyone. But particularly huge thanks, like I said before, to DRCC And just a special shout out to Katrina. Thank you so much, Katrina, for all of your help and support. Give Katrina a round of applause. To Jane as well. Jane, thank you so much. You were in the first few meetings with us all, so thank you so much, Jane, and for training. And to Kirsty as well. Big round of applause for Kirsty. Thank you so much. And to Yvonne as well, obviously. Thank you, Yvonne. Yay! And I wasn't aware, but I heard at the beginning of the show, Jennifer, are you the socials? So big round of applause for Jennifer. Thank you so much as well. I don't think we've been in meetings together, but thank you very much. And also obviously to Nolene, big round of applause for Nolene as well. So thank you for all your support, we really appreciate it. So all the DRC staff and volunteers, thank you very, very much. Okay, are you ready for your amazing final act of the first half? Yay! Honestly, this comedian, he's one of my favorite comedians. Really love watching him perform. He's so funny. Like he's just incredible and he's so talented. Like I was actually reading through like his bio and I was like, oh my god, like just so many Edinburgh Festival shows, so many hours, so many tours. He's on Russell Howard's stand-up show. Like he's so many TV appearances. He's incredible. He's just really, really brilliant. And he's also a very lovely human. So please welcome on stage, Chris Kent.
Hello. Thank you. Give it up for your host, Eve, everybody. Doing a brilliant job. Well done, Eve. Thanks for having me as part of this amazing night. I'm from Cork. I'm from Cork and I'm living back in Cork now. I moved back to Cork last year. I made the decision to move back pre-pandemic because the comedy was going quite well in Ireland. So I said, fuck it, I'll move home to Ireland. What's the worst that can happen? I'll tell you what's the worst that can happen. I moved back into my childhood bedroom with my wife and 2 kids. That's the worst that can happen. I was there for 3 months in my childhood bedroom, scrubbing all the jokes I made about being a terrible electrician in the hope of getting a job again as an electrician. That's what I did. I scrubbed them. I scrubbed the internet hard, and I got mad. I got mad at my dad, who for some reason gets up at 5:30 every morning. He doesn't leave for work till 7:45. What the man is doing downstairs, I have no idea. I know it's his house. I'm fully aware it's his house, but it is unacceptable for him to be flushing the toilet at 6:15 in the morning when there's a baby. We're trying to sleep train a fucking baby here, and he's flushing the toilet at 6:15. And you think I'm being a prick about that? I found out. I found out he wasn't even flushing his own shit. He was picking dog shit up outside. And we don't even have a dog. So, you know. I have got a job, by the way. I got a job as an electrician again. They took me back in. First time in 12 years, walking onto a building site. And by God, was I nervous. 12 years. I felt like I was just out of prison or something. But of course, there's less sex pests in prison than the comedy industry, you know. So, which we're going to change. I'm absolutely delighted to be back in Ireland, though. I didn't have the confidence to carry me around England, you know. I was in England for 6 years. I don't have that confidence. I'll give you an idea of how confident English people can be. I went to my barbers about 4 years ago. I had a trusted barbers in London. I liked going there. However, one of the barbers was really good. One of them was okay. And one of them made shit of my head on many occasions. So it's a bit of a lottery. You go in there, if it's your turn, when, you know. So I go into the barbers one day, and the guy that's absolutely terrible at cutting hair finishes. But there's 3 guys ahead of me. So I'm like, great. Phew, dodged a bullet. But the guy is getting his, you know, he's getting his apron off, and he's like, okay, who's next? And the guy who was meant to be next is like, oh no, I'm okay. I'm waiting for Sean. So I've never experienced that confidence in my life, okay? He's just refusing to get into his chair. And I'm like, oh, thank God, there's another few guys ahead of me. Surely there's not 3 confident men in the one room. What's this, a fucking boy band or something? But the next guy didn't even look up at him, didn't even look up from his paper. He was like, no, I'm waiting as well. These guys didn't know each other, by the way. They just all were very confident and cared about their heads very much so. And I'm like, the third guy also said, I'm waiting. And the Irishness in me couldn't, you know, even if he had blood dripping off his scissors, I would have been, I think I'd have felt obliged to get up, right? But don't judge me on this, okay? I got up and I took my son, who was in the pram. I took my son, who was in the pram, who couldn't speak yet, and I said, he's next. And I put him in the chair. And he made shit. He made shit of his head. Oh my God. Absolutely. He fucked that child up so much. I have 2 kids now. I have a baby, I have a boy, and I have a girl, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. And that's roughly 4,000.
You better get her.
Sorry? What's that? What is that? Sorry?
That was me. Sorry. I forgot I was on mute.
Okay, no, I thought someone spotted one of my children in the background or something.
Oh, sorry.
She's asleep. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. This is great fun. But she's asleep.
Where's the baby?
She's asleep. It's Jesus Christ. It's 9:30. She's in a routine. We've moved over to my dad's house. He doesn't flush the toilet at 5:30 every morning and wake her up. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's enough of the interaction. Okay. I've limited time. I have two kids. A baby girl. I call her a baby. She's nearly 2, and a boy who's 5. So that's 4,387 photographs. And that's just on my phone. And my wife says I don't take enough photographs of the kids. My mother has got there's about 7 photos of babies in the attic, and she doesn't even know who they are, if I'm being honest now. Like, I think it's you, or it might be your brother. But it also might be your cousin. It actually could be your cousin. That looks very like Patrick. We're progressing though. My mother, when I got back from England, my mother got a keep cup. So there's hope for the world. My mother got a keep cup. There is hope. My mother got a keep. I got a keep cup about 7 years ago, and she genuinely tried to have me sectioned. She was like, "He's what? He's bringing his own cup into the restaurant to get to save the world." So no, I'm going to leave you soon. You've been lovely, but the real reason I moved back from England wasn't even the comedy career in the first place. I had a bit of a feud with another person. I moved into an apartment over in London, and I had a ground floor apartment because I have 2 children. I was there for a couple of years and had 2 little doors that open out, and I used to dry my clothes outside on my clothes horse. I was very excited about moving into this apartment because there's a lovely drying space, and I'm very excited about it. I put my clothes horse out there. Then I get a text or a letter in the door from the management of the apartment saying you're not allowed to dry your clothes outside. And I do a bit of digging, and it's a woman called Betty. And Betty is a fucking massive pain in everybody's hole, by all accounts, right? She's the only one that cares about this. And I don't have to tell you much about her. You already know she's a pain in the hole. You already know she's an arrogant woman. But she's going around telling people that they can't use the sun around here, basically, you know? So I'm like, you know what now? I just keep drying my clothes outside. And the letters kept coming in. And what annoyed me was it said, it's unsightly. And I keep a very tidy clothes horse. I will tell you that. I pride myself. I put a bit of time into it. I've had 3 clothes horses in my whole life, which is actually not a lot for a 37-year-old man. I look after them. My least favorite of the lot, and the only one I got rid of that didn't break, was the long-winged clothes horse. Do you know the long-winged clothes horse?
Mm.
I thought that was a great idea, the long-winged clothes horse. It's a fucking fantastic idea until you have one big towel. And, yeah. And we only have one big towel in the house, and I was sick of playing Buckaroo, so I put that in the cupboard. I have no. If you're wondering, at the moment I have a 3-tier concertina, beautiful clothes horse. I put it outside the door. The letters keep coming though. The letters keep coming, but it's a generic letter, and all of a sudden the tone of the letters change. Right, Betty is upping the game. I get a letter that says, if you keep doing that, it's getting personal now, the maintenance man is going to be forced to take your stuff away. And I'm like, no, he's not. I know the maintenance man. The maintenance man, you know, has on many occasions told me what he thinks of Betty. Okay. And she's a constant pain in his arse. She's just trying to scare me now. Like, he doesn't have the gumption to come up and take my wife's knickers and my son's fucking Thomas the Tank Engine pajamas off my clothes horse, okay? So I think I need to send a message back. So what I do the following day is I put my clothes horse out there with no clothes on it. Just all the letters she's been sending me. That's what I put on it, all right? Flapping around in the wind like the head on a stick in Game of Thrones or something like that. And she stopped sending me letters. Fair dues to her, right? She stopped sending me letters. I thought I won the battle. It turns out she went on holidays. That's all that happened there, okay? The letters came flooding back in. I found out then that Betty herself is a clothes horse. You'd think she'd have a bit of compassion, but no. She doesn't have to put her clothes horse outside, and I will tell you why. It's because she fucking... I've never heard of this in my life. She plugs her clothes horse into the wall. What the? Yeah, exactly. What? The whole point of a clothes horse is to conserve energy. You don't stick everything in the fucking dryer. And Betty has a clothes horse that she plugs into the wall. That is kind of defeating the purpose there, Betty, if you ask me. I imagine if you gave Betty a keep cup, she'd shove it up a whale's hole herself, you know? You're missing the point, Betty. Yeah, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Actually, the real straw that broke the camel's back was I was outside last year during lockdown, and my son, who was just before he came over 3 at this time, with chalk, he drew loads of chalk on the pavement outside, and he was so proud of it, and it was absolutely beautiful. And we went down to the shop to get an ice cream, and we came back from the shop, and the maintenance man was scrubbing all the chalk off the ground with a mop and bucket, and my fucking son was crying almost. You know, what's he doing, Daddy? What's he doing? And the maintenance man gave me a look as to say, you know where the orders came from. I'm like, yeah. And I haven't even met Betty. I don't even know what she fucking looks like, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm looking at him. I know, you know. And, you know, in fairness now, like, we did write fuck Betty. Huge writing. That's what we wrote, right? In all the colours of the rainbow. It was absolutely beautiful. I am delighted to be back in Ireland, though. Not too much has changed for me. I kept my accent in England, which a lot of people don't bother doing. They just become English. I didn't have to change dentists. I kept my Irish dentist. I just visited them when I came back touring. I think the Irish and English have come a long way over the last 800 years. None of that shit is happening anymore. You know, I think we're kind of friends now, but I still don't trust them looking into my mouth. You know, so I draw the line at that. I'm not, no. But on a serious note, I don't know how long I've been talking right now, and I need to go, and I need to keep it down because I wake the kids. And but you guys, you know, all the lads have championed this, and it's amazing to be a part of such a brilliant thing. And thank you to all of you for doing an amazing work, and donate if you can as well. Again, please. And I can't wait to get back gigging, and hopefully it's a safer place where everybody can feel, you know, like they can come to work and have a good time. God bless. See you later.
Well, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Yay!
Thank you.
How amazing. How amazing is Chris Kent? Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you very, very much. Okay, everyone, that is the first half. Give a big round of applause for all the acts. We adjourned and Chris Kent. How incredible was that? So now I've been asked a lot of questions about my earrings. So if you go to my Insta at Eve Darcy 1, it's in my it's in the chat there. Go there, I'll tell you who they're by. Also, it's Ask Comedy Safety, hashtag big laugh for DRCC, and the iDonate is idonate.ie/comedy. Just do a load of admin during the break. That's what I'm basically asking you to do. A load of social media admin. But thank you so much. So we're going to have a really tight 10-minute break. I'm going to start back in exactly 10 minutes. So see you soon. Bye. Get a drink. Go to the bathroom. See you soon. Bye.
10-minute break now, and then there's a couple more acts.
Tight 10 minutes.
Okay. There's an interval now. Okay.
Eve, you're brilliant.
Thank you so much. Thanks,
Yeah,
Nolene.
really brilliant.
Well done, Eve.
Thank you. Thanks a million.
Thanks so much.
Are you enjoying the show?
Very good. It's brilliant.
Oh, I'm delighted. We're apparently at like 12K.
Wow.
Wow.
Isn't that back to the Big Laugh In for DRCC. Yeah! Welcome. Do you all have a nice break? We're starting back a little bit earlier because we've got a packed second half. So we want to get to bed at some point. Well, I say I want to get to bed. I want to get drinking Prosecco. That's my reasoning for getting back. I'm staying sober for the show because I'm such a professional, So yes, okay. So we've got a really, so 5 acts in the second half. And thank you all so much. People are donating still. So much money is coming in. So thank you all so much. If you want to donate money for this amazing cause and this fantastic show, it must be said, idonate.ie/comedy. Okay, so this first act of the second half, very, very, very funny. Really love his shows, and I saw him perform. I was just emceeing a show last week with him, and oh my word, I was crying laughing during his set. So you're in for a massive treat. He's a great writer, he's a podcaster. His podcast, I have not yet, nor will I ever probably listen to it, to be honest now, because it's a maths one, so that's just not my bag. But it's called The Function Room, which I'd say is excellent and something I should listen to really, because I could do it through my math skills. But he's a really, really excellent comedian, writer, podcaster. Please welcome to the screen, Colm O'Regan. Woo!
Thank you very much. Thanks everybody. Thanks Eve for that wonderful introduction, and a special tribute to Eve. Because you were one of the few people who has, on finding out about somebody's podcast, told them to their face that you're not going to listen to it. I think this, if anything comes out of this pandemic, it should be the ability for that honesty, that we can tell other people we're not going to listen to their podcasts. And if Eve has had that breakthrough, I think we all can. This has been an amazing gig so far. I actually haven't seen any of it. I was in Aldi. That's my Friday night, and the kids I think they're gone to sleep, but I did have the pleasure of listening to the interval banter. I wanted it to go on forever. I wanted to find out about Eileen's house, how much she's looking for it, where it is, what the market's like at the moment, because there's crazy money out there. Like there's new SSIAs, the NFET dole is inflating the property market. I want to see how it does. Fingers crossed for you, Eileen. But it was brilliant. Normally, comedians would try and insulate themselves from the audience in a sense of finding out what the audience are talking about for fear of hearing something you don't want to hear. But I just wanted that interval to go on forever. So delighted to be here. I am delighted also to see that some of you, I think it's Jennifer has a backdrop as well too. I thought I was going to be the only one. Jennifer, doesn't it feel like very much a lockdown 1 kind of thing to do?
Yes, I think so. I know.
And
retro.
I kind of feel now, like with my backdrop, like it's as if some younger person is going to say, "Oh, congratulations, boomer! You found the button on your the backdrop," while the rest of us have moved on, and then they're going to call me a word that I don't understand. The way. I'm 43 now, which isn't old, but it's a generation older or a generation and a half older than where all new words are being coined, which means that I spend a lot of my time terrified that I'll use some innocuous word, not realizing that it means to have sex in the ear or something. You just don't know. So I'm just always afraid. So it's I'm delighted. It's so fun to do a gig, and I've come through a bit of a realization over the last while, because it's about about vaccines, right? For a while, I was worried about where am I in the queue, They floated that boat last week that the under 30s were going to get it before the over 30s, and we all got fierce annoyed. Like the prodigal son is getting the calf slaughtered for them, while all of us worked our fingers to the bone picking turnips while these pricks were out having parties. These people had larger gatherings in the last year than like at Croke Park, and we were furious. But you know what? I'm totally zen about it, because I've just realized I work in the creative industry. I have 10 years of practice of watching younger people get something I thought I deserved. So I'm really chilled out about it. I am absolutely fine. And at this stage, I actually want to be the last person to get the vaccine. The way, like, if you're the first, that you get an award, If you're the last, you might get something. It's like that feeling when you're in a pub quiz or a table quiz, and it's and you're like, if you're doing badly, you're wondering, maybe if I do really badly, there might be a bottle of Prosecco that was meant for the raffle as a prize for the table who comes last. A kind of a Asher, God love us, and our God love us prize. So that's what I'm holding out for. It's I'm kind of optimistic. It's somebody doing a stock take in the background. That's quite on. I mean, I'm like that. There's a beautiful tension where you're kind of like, I wonder what will I hear next, and also I wonder what I'll hear next. You know, that kind of feel like, will they start writing when they're just, you know, two people who are just like counting tins, which is what it sounds like, and they just stare at each other and go, oh, I've never been more turned on. You know, let's turn that guy off. So, but I feel optimistic about some things. You know, things that make me optimistic, the cohesiveness of society. We feel an awful lot that, you know, people are disunited, but I see lovely little examples of cohesion in the strangest of places. I see them on Facebook. Do you ever look on Facebook when somebody shares a memory of like a night out they had 3 years ago? Is Candyman trying to get into the house, or what's going on? So there's like, they share a memory on Facebook of a night out they had, and the photo will come up like, and they're dancing on tables, you know, doing tequila, all sorts of stuff. And then like their aunt won't realize it's a memory, thinks it happened only the other week, but will still comment saying, it's great to see you getting out, hun. Like, you know, no questions asked about the level of lockdown. Let's just do it. It's totally fine. I am enjoying the lowering of expectations. I think that's been good for me. You know, there's no FOMO, because it's like FOFO. It's like FOMFU, fear of missing fuck all. You know, that's where we're at, and so there's no fear. Two negatives cancel each other out. And I think about when we go back on holidays, how the expectations of a good holiday has been so dramatically lowered that we will actually have a good holiday. You know, because when you're on holidays, you won't be worried about somebody going, yeah, well, when I was in Laos, because people who go to Laos call it Lao for some reason, because they think it's not, right? It's not, it's Laos. Okay, there's only 4 letters in the people's country. Use all of them, right? They put them there for a reason. They're not French. The French took them over, but it's Laos, okay? And I'll be corrected now, and somebody says, actually, the A in Laotian is pronounced with a U. Anyway, doesn't matter, right? It's not Lao. But anyway, holidays, my expectations are on the floor. Like, I just want to go on holidays. I just want to use a different toilet. Like, does anybody just want to use a different toilet at this stage? Like when we go into the hotel, that first hotel, instead of like, oh, can't wait to get the bags up to the room and go to the pool, I'd be like, I just want to take a dump and no consequences poo, and that I'm not faced with any of the you know, maybe on like the 3rd floor of the hotel, like a floor I'm not staying on. I just like go in like it's, you know, swingers, you know, like car keys in a bowl, and then you all disappear to each other's toilets. It's just, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm going to look forward to like that. You know, things that I thought would have bothered me before in staying in a hotel won't bother me anymore. Like, I won't mind if I stay in a hotel and I never find out where the main light switch is until the morning I check out. You know, that won't bother me. That used to bother me before. Remember, you spend almost an entire hotel stay in darkness because the light switches required the Fibonacci sequence to, well, actually the one that turns that on is under the lamp, and then you have to do this, and then the toilet one switches on the phone, you know. So like I won't mind that. I'm looking forward to the hotel buffet breakfast. I will treat it. It could be the shittest breakfast, it would be terrible, and I will go in there like it's, you know, they'll go in, oh, look at this. Eggs. I'll go, eggs. Who has laid this on? What Arabian Nights fantasy is in front of me here? Has the Sultan of Brunei designed this? And I'll go in and I'll do that thing that a lot of Irish people do, where they go in and they see the natural yogurt and they go, do you know, I think I'll have a healthy breakfast. Because they've got natural yogurt in a barrel and a ladle to dish it out with. And we decide for the first time in our lives, I'm going to eat fruit with a spoon. gonna eat my fruit with a spoon. That's who I am now. Look at me. I'm like John Waters, the film director, not the other one. You know, that's how outre. That's how avant-garde. I'll be booed out of Cannes. That's how out there I am. I'll be eating the fruit with a spoon. Maybe I'll go over to the special hotel toaster. You know, the one that looks like something from the Spanish Inquisition, where it's like designed to get you to recant, or else they'll put you on the conveyor belt under the flames, you know, that toaster. And it's such a magical toaster because you don't know what's going to happen when you put bread into it. You know, you put bread into the toaster and one of three things can happen. Bread gets burnt, bread is untouched, or my favorite, bread goes missing. There are less slices come out of the toaster than what you put in. And you see it as a kind of a sacrifice to, you know, the toaster god. It's amazing. And then you have your spoon and your fruit with a spoon and your yogurt, and you sit down and you realize actually what you wanted to do was go up and take a bath in the sausages. And you go up and then you get 15 Danish to see you through the day, because you don't know how to charge here, right? You get Danishes. But then what you do as well is they won't have beans out, right? We all go through the charade of pretending we prefer fried tomatoes to beans. And so they won't have the beans out. And then you order beans separately from the back. What's going on in the back? Like, what's like Temple of Doom thing is going on in the back? Like, is there a cult going on there with the beans? And then we do, no matter what happens, we order the beans and we stay for the beans. No matter how long it takes for the beans to arrive, there could be a shuttle to space leaving from outside the hotel, but you'll stay for the beans. You'll have them with Danishes. That's how late the beans will be. So thank you so much for being a brilliant audience. Best of luck with the house, Eileen. I hope it goes well. And I'll say good night. Thank you very much. I'm going to have my dinner. Good night.
Great.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Colin. Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you.
Enjoy your dinner.
And best of luck with the podcast, Colin.
Thank you. Function room that you won't listen to. I know.
I'll listen to it. I will.
Thanks a million. I bet that's Annie. I bet that's Annie. Anyway.
Obviously, everyone's good. And I will, Colin. Thanks so much. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
that.
Bye-bye.
One more time for Colin, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm just going to keep the show going. Our next performer is, oh my God, so funny as well. We're just so gifted with all these amazing, and he's also one of the super subs that has come in. So really, really, really grateful to Chris, to Colin, and to Fred. Like, they've really just stepped up and saved us as well. So thank you so much. So really special thanks to them. So yes, Fred Cook is going to come on next. You'll all know who Fred is if you watch the Tommy Tiernan show, which everyone does. So you'll all know who he is. So yeah, he's you know, like super accomplished and excellent comedian, very, very funny. So please welcome on stage Fred Cook. Woo!
Hi guys.
Hi.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm delighted here. I know some of you probably don't recognize me at all, which is cool. Some of you are probably looking at me right now going, oh my God, COVID-19 has really taken its toll on Ed Sheeran, hasn't it? Fucked. So I am. So I'm. You know, I haven't done too many online gigs, so I thought I'm quite nervous. I thought it'd be among strangers, but to be honest with you, I actually recognized a few of you from Tinder already, so I'm delighted. Thank God for that. Hey, Katrina. Bit awkward, this Tom guy, but whatever. Tell me about that. And so thanks for that. Eva is right. I am on the Tommy Tiernan show, and you know, I'm very lucky to be working in RTE at the moment because there's no budget and there's no shows. So really am. I mean, even I heard, right, there's so much of it. There's so little money, right, and there's such a cut in staff that they're going to get rid of the orchestra. Half the orchestra has to go. A 32-piece orchestra in RTE, and half of them have to go. My God, I'd say the guy behind the triangle is shitting himself. It's me, just holding the triangle going, oh God, I'm only 5 years away from a pension. Come on. Ding, 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 ding. So yeah, and I am. So, you know, I've been very lucky as well with that. I was also on Dancing with the Stars, and that was, and for anyone outside of Ireland who's watching this, Dance with the Stars was, I guess it's the Irish version of Come Dance With Me, isn't it? Is that what you call it, is it? It's kind of like the Irish version of that. And but you know, realistically, Irish people, we don't have stars. We don't have stars. Like, everyone knows each other. You know, it's unbelievable. Like they should have realistically called it like Dancing with the Cousins or something like that. Would have made more sense, wouldn't it? Doing the cha-cha, Bono, second cousin, once removed. The rest of the country is, and I actually had a moment there. I thought Maeve Higgins was laughing at me, but it's just her screensaver. I said Maeve Higgins was thinking hilarious because she's just like this, like. Can't even move her face. I'm that funny, and but yeah, it's great. And you know, the Tommy Show as well, it's been really good, very successful now. So a lot of people think on Twitter that I have it easy on the Tommy Show because all I do is introduce the acts and pull a curtain. But there's a lot of stress behind that. There really is. Like it's just quite stressful knowing that I could say the wrong name at any given time. You know? I wouldn't, and I have said the wrong name. I have, like, on the second week, we had Sir A.P. McCoy on, you know, Sir A.P. McCoy. I didn't know who he was, like, I don't know that much about sport. And the researcher who booked him, right, she forgot to put a dot in between the A and the P on the card. So I did it. Tommy goes, who's our next act? And I went, well, our next act is Sir Ap McCoy. Did it? I thought he was like I thought he was some sort of a genius who created apps or something like that. Hard to get it right all the time, isn't it? So, but you know, I'm just so delighted now. Hopefully, this lockdown's coming to an end. You know, I'm just so mad to see my family now, and like you know, you're lonely when you can't wait to see your mother. You know, that's a heavy sign, isn't it? Oh, you can't wait. And people saying, oh, you know, like, Mom, I heard Mom saying, oh, it'd be great to start hugging people. I was like, you never hugged me in your life. What are you not going to start now, are you? Now that I'm 40. Too late, Mom. Leave me alone. Don't need you. And you know what I do? Like, even in phase 3, Mom and Dad said, Kerry at the moment, which is, I guess it's famous for... it's right down in the south, you know, for anyone who's outside of Ireland. And so it's quite far and remote. So when phase 3 happened and we were allowed to travel to different counties and visit people, I was so excited because Mom and Dad said we're calling around. They said we're calling around quite early. They said we're calling around at like 8 a.m. On a Friday morning. And I was so excited. I was actually like a dog looking out the window waiting for my parents to drive up the lane. I couldn't believe it. I haven't seen them in 3 months and they're coming up the lane. And the van came up, right? The van, I got closer to, and I was waving and smiling. I was so happy. And the closer the van got, I realized that it wasn't my parents, it was the milkman. Right? It was the milkman. Now, I hate letting people down. I hate making people feel a bit shit about themselves. So I had to keep that energy going. So the closer, so he got out of the van, and I just looked at him and went, "I fucking love milk! Woo! Bring it on!" And then I brought him into the house, and I was so excited. Now, as you can see, there's a bit of a pattern going on here, isn't there? Because he called around the next week. Now, I didn't want him to think my excitement was a one-off. I was in some way bipolar or something like that. No, so the van came up a week later and I get back in here, you're a legend. Woo! So I brought him in and I had tea and everything ready for him. I was like, okay, here's the tea bags. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot the milk. Oh, you legend, you're here. You've any amount of it, no problem. And so yeah, I was delighted. And so, you know, it's good that it's been a strange year for everyone. I don't want to go on too long, Eve. So you just give me the sign there when you want me to finish up because I forgot to put the timer on.
Oh yeah,
so,
a minute or two, whatever you think. Fred.
Okay, I've got 2 minutes left. Do I? Okay, right. I don't even know if I've got 2 minutes left of material. Fuck. Will we have a minute silence for the crack? The whole lot of us. So. Only joking. I have loads of material. It's going to be a good hour and a half. But it's been good, you know. It's been a wonderful year as well. You know, I became a dad this year, and Julie and I, and we talked about it for 8 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've been out 4 years now, so we talked about it for a lot. So, like, you know, we wanted the baby. Like, it wasn't a mistake. No. Oh, only joking. And well, it's funny, it's strange now because he's only 6 months, and I don't know what part of my DNA is in that baby, and I don't know what part of Julie's DNA is in that baby. It's quite strange at the moment. All I do know is that my partner Julie got 400 points more than me in the Leaving Cert. So I'm really hoping he doesn't have the silly gene. That's all I hope. Like, I was a disaster to Leaving Cert. I was so bad. Like, and even like, it's, you know, it's so hard for kids to even get the Leaving Cert these days. You know what I mean? But it's changing anyway. There's no denying it. It's changing anyway. Like, even PE last year, like, they wanted to make PE an actual Leaving Cert exam. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
PE is going to be a Leaving Cert exam. Like what's question one going to be when you see the paper? Did you remember to bring a gear in? Oh shit! Oh God, I should have done pass. You don't need your runners for pass PE, don't you not? So, like, with every Leaving Cert exam, with every Leaving Cert subject, there's like different levels. There's higher level, which is hard, and then there's ordinary level, which is kind of hard and kind of easy, and then there's like foundation level. Come on, guys, what's foundation level going to be like for PE? Is it just going to be lads in a room breathing for 3 hours? Is it? Oh, this is tough. I didn't expect this to come up. One lad smoking in the corner going, Jesus, if I give up the fags, I'll be doing honours. Do you know that? Wonderful Eve, Darcy. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you soon.
Yay! Thanks so much, Fred. Everyone give it up for Fred Cook. Yay! Thanks so much, Fred. Really appreciate it. That was hilarious. Thank you so much. And also, your baby, you didn't say he's the cutest baby in the world as well. He's adorable.
Cheers, Eve.
Thanks so much, Fred. You're one of our super subs, so thanks so much for rescuing the show. Thank you. Okay, everyone, are you ready for your third act of the second half? Oh my gosh, I'm very, very excited to introduce this very wonderful person, lovely friend, just so happy like that she's part of this group and everything, and she's just been so incredible. We all love her very, very much. Just to give her a proper introduction as she deserves, so she's an award-winning writer, comedian, and she's the co-host of a very popular BBC podcast, Wheel of Misfortune. Definitely check it out. It's really, really brilliant. She's also the creator and star of the television series Nowhere Fast. And also she's written a play, Scarlet, which won like 5 stars with the Times. Like, she's incredibly talented. And she's also one of the founding members of SOTS, which is now Comedy Safety Standards. So please welcome on stage, huge round of applause and support and love for the wonderful Alison Spittle.
Hello. Happy St. George's Day to you all. I'm sure you're celebrating. I'm sure. My dad, right? I love my dad very much, but my dad is so English that even I feel colonized by him, right? That's how he is, right? He got up this morning in the WhatsApp group, the family WhatsApp group, like, Happy St. George's Day. And I was like, yeah, what? And he was like, it's St. George's Day today. And he said, what's wrong? Why have you got a problem with St. George's Day? Sure, St. Patrick's Day you're all shouting about. And I'm like, yeah, because it's a bit of crack. Like, what do you get up to on St. George's Day? But to celebrate now, I got my Pat Busher earrings on, which I feel they're not quite vulvas now, but they're near enough. I love it. Pat Busher and Peggy Mitchell for St. George's Day. You might notice in the background as well. I'll talk you through what you're seeing on the screen here. This behind me is a broken bed. This is the third bed that I've broken this lockdown. That's not a brag. my boyfriend, and this is the truth, my boyfriend has described my movements as explosive. But he means that when I'm getting myself up out of bed, like they're not explosive. I do a countdown before I get up out of bed. Yeah, I just physics. I need a lot of torque behind me when I get up out of bed. But I'm so delighted to be here on this lovely night. I know, by the way, like, I could just maybe turn the laptop around so the broken bed isn't behind me, but I believe, like, if like the first time you break a bed, I got on to my landlord pretty quick, right? I was like, you need to sort this out quick. I need to sleep in a bed, right? I have standards for myself. The second time you break the bed, you wait a few days until you text them. You're a bit. Third time, I'm on a mattress on the floor and I'm this way forever. I'm never contacted him again. I swear to God. I say, you don't want to see how I live. And also, I'll tell you about my living situation as well. I am absolutely riddled at the moment, absolutely infested with pigeons, right? At the start of lockdown with these pigeons, right? Basically, my boyfriend caught COVID and spent 2 months in a bedroom away from me. First month was for health and safety. Second month was just, that used to it. And honest to God, I started making friends with the pigeons. I felt like Snow White. I would hear the pigeons coo outside and I was, you're my friends, you understand what's going on. And then I went back to Ireland, and then with COVID, kind of got stuck there for a few months, right? And came back. Pigeons were not my friends anymore. They had shat everywhere. A little bit of bird shit bird shit doesn't annoy me, and I think I know why. It's because of the size of it. If a dog shat like a bird, I don't think we'd care about dog shit that much. But there was that much bird shit that I slipped on it, that my foot squat. I know this is not comedy, but like, to be honest, I just want to tell you how I'm living at the moment, and it's a cry for help. Have you ever seen like a baby pigeon before? They're incredibly ugly. They're the teenagers of the animal world. They look like they've acne. I know they've got feathers, but they're absolutely disgusting to me. The other thing that happened during lockdown as well is that I had this flatmate, and I kind of thought he was a bit of a prick before, but oh my God, the lockdown brings out the pricks in your life, doesn't it? It's beautiful. Yeah. It's like a litmus test for arseholes. Now this fella, and I feel very safe talking about him because he definitely would not be watching a comedy show to raise money for a rape crisis center. He's not that type of guy, so I feel I could fully talk about him. But so what happened, right? My boyfriend got COVID, and we all decided we're all going to stay inside, not to spread it around. And he was riding this one, like, just bring it, like, I don't look, come here, I'm a frigid and I'm a judger, right? And this lockdown has been great for that. Jesus. And he was riding this one, and I kind of made it uncomfortable for them. And she texted me one day and said, like, Alison, I understand it's a bit awkward with COVID and everything like that, but I will be coming back to and from your house. I'm a key worker, she goes. I was like, how are you a key worker? Basically, they were writing a musical on John F. Kennedy, a country and western musical on John F. Kennedy. That is not key work. Like, no one needs that now. No one needs it ever. And I basically spent my lockdown begging a woman to not come and fuck a ukulele teacher, which I felt is the most lockdown sentence of my life. I had to beg her. I was like, please, he's not worth it. It's a very small instrument. He can't be that good. He can't. The other thing I was going to tell you as well, I've been taking up, I've been doing like YouTube exercising. Now, before, I used to be very afraid of doing Zumba. Has anyone ever done Zumba? Give me a shout.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Okay, so I heard a rumor about Zumba that Scientologists use it to get people in, right? And to be honest with you, like, I don't think Scientology would suit me. I'm not Tom Cruise. I'm not built for that life. Do you know what I mean? I would totally be in a cult. I feel like I'm very culty. Do you know? I wear headdresses. I'm very susceptible, right? Being in a cult. I dress like I'm in one, like, and I need to stay away. But so I never did Zumba because I was like, I can't go to Zumba, I'll be put in a cult. But I did Zumba online because I was like, I'm safe from Scientology. And while I was doing Zumba, I was really enjoying it. And I was thinking, isn't it mad you were afraid of Zumba and you were so afraid of Scientology? And then I remembered to myself, didn't you go into a Scientology building, Alison, because you had a half an hour to kill one day in London and you wanted a personality test? Like, you're not that afraid of Scientology. You just don't like exercise. Like, just accept that. I keep making these elaborate excuses for myself. Also, the other thing is I'm very afraid of death as a child. Like, I'm still am now. I don't like, nothing's changed in my life that has changed, but I'm very afraid of dying. And when I was a kid, I used to think like if I was famous, then I would never die, like, because I don't know how I got that into my head. And then I did stand-up comedy, and I'm very wrong. But I always wanted to be like someone great who was in an encyclopedia, someone who'd done something so well that they would be in an encyclopedia. And now I'm at the level of fame where I would just like a sandwich named after me. That's what I want. That's my next goal. And if you're wondering what it is, it's just a hollowed out roll filled with coleslaw, cheese, and stuffing. Yeah, that is what it is. So if you ever name a sandwich, name it after me. And the other thing I was going to talk to you about, and then I'm done. I feel very excited, and it's been lovely to be on tonight, and I really, really appreciate it. Oh yeah, this is the joke right there. I'm gonna drink a cup of tea, calm myself, center myself. It's all good, you know. So yeah, this is what I wanted to say, is that I am. Oh no, I was gonna do a joke about being a frigid, but do you know what? Let's not. I feel there's no space for that at the Dublin Rape Crisis Centre. You know, it's not that I'm going to talk about rape. I'm going to stop now. Jesus Christ, it's very. Do you know what's weird, ladies? The T-shirt, by the way, I got a Dublin Rape Crisis T-shirt, and size too small for me. And to be honest with you, and that's not your fault. That's definitely my fault. But the funny thing is, it's so small that it just, because it kind of warps under my boobs, so it just says rape across my boobs. And I'm like, I can't go outside with that. People don't know. Do you know what I mean? So it's very much a pajama top, but I'm very thankful for it. Eve, you've been so. Do you know what? I'm gonna let you go now. And thank you so much, and have a lovely night, everybody. Best of luck. Bye.
Yay, Alison! One more time, Alison Riddle, everyone! Yay! Much love, Alison. That was incredible. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm just gonna keep the show going. Are you all having a good night? Yeah, enjoying yourself? Yay! Nice. Okay, cool. Right. Now, so this next actor coming on stage, very, very funny human, also a very lovely human. He also has a podcast called Fascinated. You should also check that out. I also have a podcast. It's called Humans Discuss Me. Everyone has a podcast now, I feel like. Podcast or OnlyFans page. I think that's the way lockdown is gone to go. But also, Gearóid's the next comedian coming on stage. He's also done a really cool thing in lockdown, which is bake-alongs. So you should really check those out. I don't know if he's still doing them because he's done 50 of them so far. So they're really great though. And so Gearóid is really, really super funny comedian. He's toured and supported Joan Rivers, Sarah Milken. He's Edinburgh Festival like pretty much every year and does great. He's just so funny. He's been on Stand and Deliver on TV and Dave's One Night Stand. He is hilarious. And thank you so much, Gearóid, for being part of this. Thank you so much. Please welcome on stage, Gearóid Farrelly.
Hello. Yes, you can see me. Good evening. How are you? Are you all good?
Yay!
Yeah, give it to Darcy. I'm in great form. No, that's a lie. I'm in terrible form. I've had a very bad week. It's lockdown. My mother is doing a clear out, right? Jesus Christ. Has anyone done a clear out in lockdown?
Yay.
It doesn't end well. My mother rang me last week. She said, "Listen, we're clearing out the attic. Me and your daddy are doing the attic," which essentially means that she's locked him in the attic until he's like he's cleared a space for himself to get out. But she told me that basically, so all your treasured possessions, just come over and collect them. They're outside in the skip. And one of the things that she kind of lured me over with was, she said, do you know what we found? We found your very first teddy bear. And I thought, oh my God, that is absolutely adorable. My teddy bear was called Constance. I have absolutely no idea why. I think it was just like one final stab for my family at middle class, but I don't know. But anyway, it was called Constance. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to see Constance again. I went over and my mother gave me this. That is Constance's leg.
I just washed those.
And Jane has just washed them. She's just washed them. That's Constance's leg. I was absolutely furious. But apart from that, to be honest with you, things are going very well for me in lockdown. It really is the best thing that ever happened to me, because one of the things that comedians are supposed to be, we're supposed to be really, really upset about, like, because our tours got cancelled. But I'm just like, oh, fantastic. Like, I'm not popular anywhere good. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you want to go to Ballina or do you want to get the COVID payment? I absolutely not. But I do really miss going to gigs. Like, I really miss live gigs. Like, I love going to music gigs. Like, the last big music gig I went to was in Dublin, and it was Shania Twain. Do you know Shania Twain?
Yeah.
You know her? Yeah, she's very popular with Scum. Scum love Shania Twain. They absolutely adore her, right? Now, I didn't know her, but one of my friends in the band, he said, listen, you have to come and see her. She's mad as a brush. And I said, listen, a mad lady that sings ballads, that's right up my street. I'm there, right? So I did a little bit of research, right? Because I didn't know much about her. I only knew one or two songs. And I did a little bit of research and she looked absolutely brilliant. Like, there were clips from the shows on YouTube. I watched them all, right? On YouTube, there was a moment in the middle of the show that I was going to see. Looked fabulous. There was a moment where she appeared on a podium in the middle of the arena. There was a flash of lightning. There she was in a flowing cape, right? She picked up her guitar. She started to play. It was the big song, You're Still the One. Now, on YouTube, the crowd were going absolutely wild. Now, I was sitting in this chair watching it thinking, this is going to be incredible. Now, I don't want to break your heart, but it was one disappointment after another, right? Sure enough, she did appear on the podium, right? She picked up the guitar, she started to play, and I'm not joking. She fixed her hair twice, and that guitar kept playing, right? But it got worse, because on YouTube, when she was finished, what she did was she picked up the guitar, she put the guitar down, there was a flash of lightning, and she flew back to the stage. Now, I was sitting there going, this is going to be outrageous. It's going to be incredible, right? Now, this might upset you, but if you were going to see a show in the Three Arena and you hear there's flying in it, you can't fly in the Three Arena. Why? Because the roof is too low. How do they know it's too low? Because in 2012, Beyonce came to Dublin and Beyonce wanted to fly, and they said, Beyonce, love, it's too low. And Beyonce said, Beyonce wants to fly. So Beyonce flew. Somebody robbed her shoes. Now, it wasn't that she kicked off the shoes, flew, went back, and the shoes were gone. That's not what happened, right? Somebody called Lisa in row 3 just jumped and held on. And you know the sort of person Lisa was. You know Lisa wasn't a collector. You know those shoes end up on eBay. You know to this day Lisa is still clacking around the ILAC Centre in them with her back. They like the shoes, they're Beyonce's. The cape, Shania's. I'll never forget it as long as I live. I was in the good seats. I was 30 feet from Shania and I watched her get mauled. Her cape. I'll tell you what happened. Shania showed up at the Three Arena, right? She found out she couldn't fly. She hit the roof. Why? Because it's very low. Went straight to the stage manager. She said, what about the bit on the podium? The Scum Love Me bit on the podium. And they said, chill out, right? You can still do the bit on the podium. But what we need to do is we need to work out how to get you from the podium back to the stage. So Shania said, oh, I'll handle this myself. So what she did was she decided she'd get 2 of her biggest fans out of the audience, right? 2 big fans. Now, if you're doing that in the Three Arena in Dublin with the people that go to see Shania Twain, you pick 2 of the biggest lads that you can find, right? She thought she'd sing an extra chorus of the song and walk through the crowd. That's not what happened. Shania picked 2 of the tiniest homosexuals I have ever seen. That is no defense against an angry Dublin mob, right? She took 2 steps off that podium, there was a scuffle, and Shania wasn't seen for 20 minutes, right? When she got off the podium, she had one of those microphones, you know, the ones with all the little diamonds on it? That was gone. By the time Shania got to the stage, that was being sold for parts in East Wall. last thing the people in the Three Arena heard was the lad that robbed the microphone sing the last chorus of "Man, I Feel Like a Woman" as he ran out of the arena. The other, I think it's only when you see shows like that. Like, I love it when big artists visit us because, like, I think Ireland is very parochial, isn't it? And you can see that when you watch television. Like, you know, like all those shows where they have experts on. You know, the way she's an expert. It's an expert. We have an expert. Like, I am never certain. Like, like the fashion experts, they always throw me. I am never certain whether somebody is really, really fashionable or in the throes of a mental health crisis. I can never work it out to look at them. It's like either this is, I don't know what this is. I'm never sure. I'm not a fashionable person. Like, this is my gig shirt. This is what I call my emergency gig shirt. This is a gig shirt that fits any size I've ever been. It is now very strictly a Zoom shirt. This is a shirt that is great from the shoulders up. I'm not good at that. One of the things that I want, I think we're going to learn a lot from this lockdown. And one of the things that I think I've learned is, I'm going to really campaign for this, right, is I really want to look at the news cycle that we have in Ireland. I think it's very important that we fix it, right? Because at the moment, what we have, there's news all day. You can get news anytime you want to, but our big main evening news at 6 o'clock in the evening is a specific length, right? Now, they need to get rid of that. That's very bad for society, right? Because what they do is, when they run out of bad news, they fill the time, right? Now, that's not the way that should work, right? What should happen is, if there's only 10 minutes of bad news, you know, Eileen Dunn should just go, oh, there's no more. Off you go. The world's great. Well done, everyone. Well done. What I do not want ever on the 6 o'clock news is, I don't want human interest stories, right? I have no fucking interest in humans, right? If it was feline interest stories, I would never miss one. Snowy is back from the groomers. Doesn't she look fabulous? Wonderful. What a fabulous country we live in. That is not what we get. What I don't want ever is them to throw over to the Midlands correspondent, because you're... Oh, here we fucking go. The Midlands correspondent. What's this? What's this? Someone got a full line at bingo. Jesus. 3 weeks ago, I will never forget this as long as I live. The Midlands correspondent, which, I'm sorry, we should not have to look at. Like, on a good day, that man looks like he slept on a bench. We should not have to look at him after 6 months of a moratorium on haircuts, right? Anyway, there he was, and he had Lorraine on, right? Now, the reason that Lorraine was live to the nation was Lorraine's driving test had been cancelled 3 times.
No.
Lorraine's driving test had been cancelled 3 times, so she was addressing the nation. Now, hold on. There's a pandemic, Lorraine. There's a fucking queue. Now, you just get in it and shut up. But no, she was absolutely furious and passed it. Her driving test has been cancelled 3 times, and Lorraine needs that driving test because she's going to go to college to become a nurse and a frontline worker. Now, hold on a minute there. This pandemic will probably be over in a year, right? So that's 2 years. Nursing is a 4-year degree, right? Yeah. By the look of Lorraine, she's not going straight in. Lorraine has at least a year in a PLC and 6 months wiping arses before anyone's left. But no, Lorraine was furious. And then what they do to fill time, because they had to do it, the whole nation had to sit and watch while Lorraine did a 3-point turn on the gravel, clipping a weed. Proven that if she is moved up the line, she's going to fucking fail it. Like, if Angela Merkel sees that, we will be thrown out of Europe. What I want to say before I go is, right, it's very important. I want to get a nod in for the, climate change, because it's the thing. It's very fashionable at the moment. I'm somewhat of a climate change hero myself, because what I've done is I've actually got an electric scooter, and I bought it 2 years ago, and I've done 1,400 kilometers on it. Right now, are you impressed by that?
Yeah.
Some people are glaring at me, absolutely glaring. And I don't know why that is. Like, anywhere else in the world, if I was to say I did 1,400 miles on a scooter, an electric scooter, rather than doing it in a diesel car, people would say you're a hero. You're a hero, girl. But in Ireland, oh no, in Ireland it's like an electric scooter. I hope you're killed off it. I don't know why people hate them, but it is a wonderful way to spend your commute. Like, electric scooters, they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. However, we do have a small problem, right? And that is that some people seem to think that they're sort of illegal. It's kind of like it's a bit of a grey area as to
They are illegal.
right? So basically, if the guards are in bad humour, like they can essentially do you for it, right? Now, I got stopped by a guard. Now, it was a traffic guard. Do you know what I mean? They're not line of duty. Sure, they're not. They don't have AC12 out stacking the cones. Sure, they don't. Anyway, he stopped me, and what I'd done is I'd read up on it, and apparently, right, electric scooters, because you have to push them off to start, that's actually manual intervention. So it's actually not an electric scooter. It's actually an electric assisted scooter, which is apparently a different thing, right? So I was delighted with myself. I had it already, said it to the guard, and he was like, oh, I don't know. I'm just going on what they're telling me now, but you seem to know what you're talking. Go on. Well, as I was scooting off, right, he called me back and I got into trouble. And the reason I got into trouble is on my backpack, I had a little blue light, right? Just a little blue blinking light. I bought it on wish.com for €1. It doesn't owe me a penny. It saves me life, right? And he said, no. You cannot use a blue light. You cannot use a blue light is a restricted color because it's been mistaken for an emergency vehicle. Now, I know the country is in crisis. Then a little gay man on an electric scooter mistaken for an ambulance. That is a sad day in the history of this state. Listen, you've been absolutely lovely. Thank you so much. Darcy, Alison, Ruth, everyone that organised this, absolutely brilliant. Loads of love. And please donate. And you've been lovely. Thank you very much.
Yay! Growth Barley, everyone! Oh my word! How funny was that? Growth Barley, one more time, everyone! Yes! Oh my gosh! And thank you all so much. You've all been donating loads. We're almost at €12,000. Oh my God. Thank you all so much. We're currently at 11,877. So if everyone just right now, really quickly, donates a load more. Thank you so much. Like seriously though, like how incredible was this lineup? Wasn't it amazing? Like woo! Yeah. So so feel free to donate. David, bless him, keeps putting the donate link in the chat. So yeah, it's right there. Also hashtag big laugh for DRCC. Also, if you would please support Comedy Safety Standards by just like following us on Twitter and Instagram. So our handles are at Comedy Safety. And honestly, if you never ever look at a tweet or anything that we put out, it doesn't matter. It just matters about how many followers are there. So if everyone could just follow it right now, really quickly, that'd be just super. That'd be really great. And also check out our website, comedysafetystandards.com. So right, we're coming towards the end of the night. Are you ready for your last act of the show? Yay! Okay, so just before I bring this an amazing comedian on stage or on screen, I just want to say this is the last pretty much that you'll hear from me. I'll say a quick goodbye at the end, but I just want to take this opportunity to once again thank you all, the audience, every single person in the audience. Thank you so much for donating. Thank you so much for supporting. It really means so much. And this is hopefully the start of a better comedy world and comedy scene in Ireland. So thank you so much. Huge thank you to everyone involved in SOTS and now Comedy Safety Standards. Particularly, as I was saying, so Aoife, Stephanie, Ruth, Sahar, Pauline, everyone in SOTS. I know I'm totally forgetting people because this is Stephanie, obviously, and Alison. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. To all the acts that have given so generously of their time and their talents this evening. So just a huge round of applause, collective round of applause for all the acts. Woo! So just a special shout out to all of the acts. So we Jarlath Regan, Sakisa, Maeve Higgins, Chris Kent, Fred Cook, Gerard Farrelly, Alison Spittle, Colm O'Regan, and you're going to have a very funny headliner coming up. I'll introduce her in a second. So thank you so much everyone for donating. It really just means so much, and all the money is going to go to Dublin Rape Crisis Centre, who just, they do amazing work, and we're so grateful to them. And just huge thanks again to DRCC for all your help and your support, and for the training you're going to provide to the comedy community and all of that stuff. We really appreciate it. So thank you so much. I just want to say a massive thanks as well to David, our tech guy. Could everyone give him a round of applause, please? He's done such an amazing job for us. So thank you so much, David. This has been like, you've made my job, well actually to be honest, I wouldn't have been able to do this show if you hadn't been on board. So thank you very much, David. It's been really a pleasure working with you. So yeah, I think I've all my bits done. I think I can go have some prosecco. No, not yet. But I'm very, very delighted to welcome this next headline act on stage. She is one of my favorite comedians, one of my favorite people. She's really, really brilliant. She's an Irish comedian, well known among Irish audiences for her live stand-up performances and her work in TV, theatre, and on radio. She's featured on Stuart Lee's Alternative Comedy Experience on Comedy Central. And she's played Latitude, Glastonbury, Montreal Just for Laughs, and all of the top Irish comedy festivals. She wrote and performed in RT's The Savage Eye, which you'll all know her from that. She's appeared on a number of popular shows since, including Fancy Vittles with Rick Telly, Bridget and Eamon. She's great, so funny in Bridget and Eamon. She now lives in the UK, where she enjoys making social faux pas and losing personal items on public transport. Please welcome on screen, on your stage, huge round of applause for Eleanor Tiernan.
Woo! Thank you so much, everyone. I can't believe you're still here. I think I don't know. Are you good? Are you good for some more laughter? Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah. We might, or will we get an answer to the question? Can you have too much comedy on a gig? I don't know. It's lovely to be here. Just to clear up a couple of things. I don't have a podcast. Somebody said earlier, that every comedian has a podcast. I don't have a podcast. I'll be honest, I did try it at the start of lockdown. I just realized I didn't have anything to say. So I said, I better stop. So you don't have to have one, was the thought on that. I also have a massive fear of jewelry. I know there's been some lovely earrings on. Weird phobia of jewelry. Like my worst nightmare is of my agent calling me up on a day that I'm really, really broke and saying, Eleanor, I've got you an audition. You're going to be playing the next Pat Butcher. I'd be like, no. So yeah, Eve was saying I'm in the UK where we are opening up slightly, but I still haven't made it to the hairdressers yet. I don't know. I have a little bit of a phobia of going to the hairdressers as well. It's just I find it very hard to communicate with the hairdresser. Just the kind of language. I don't have my understanding of words doesn't match with their understanding of words. Like one of the things they say to you is, do you want it all the same length? And I know what they mean. They mean like a hair in a bob, like mine is, where it's all the same length or straight at the bottom. But the thing is, my hair isn't all the same length. The hair underneath here, it's a different length to the hair at the top of my head. So if she's being accurate, what the hairdresser should say is, do you want it all to be the same distance from the ground? But I don't say that because the hairdresser's chair is not a position of strength. I think myself, my housemates have made quite a success of lockdown. We weren't bargaining on this happening when we moved in together, but we've all managed to share the space really well. The only thing that is a bit difficult is I think it's the layout of our house. It's kind of designed for arguments, if it's possible. I think it is. Basically, we have a bathroom extension on the ground floor of the house. But that means that when you're going to the toilet, you have to go through the kitchen to get to it. And that means inevitably stopping and having a little chat with whoever's sitting at the kitchen table. And it's not always what you want to do. Your husband is there, you're like, I'd love to talk more about your phantom pregnancy, Marjorie, but these liquidated first. What it also affects, I think, is your decision to lock the bathroom door, because we all know the point of locking a bathroom door. It is to prevent somebody who doesn't know that you're in there from barging in on top of you. Yeah. But if the person who might come in is just seeing you going in there, it changes the meaning of locking a bathroom door completely. Lock the door in that situation. You're saying to your housemate, I think you're going to try and come in. However, if you don't lock the door, that is you saying, you would like to come in. Not going to stop you.
It's in Hackney. That's a place called Hackney, which has a bit of a reputation where I live, and that's a bit strange because I've been watching a lot of the true crime as well. You know, the true crime documentaries. So I'm watching true crime, but I live in Hackney, which is weird because I'm in bed at night and I have the laptop open, you know, watching this stuff. But if I turned my head 30 degrees and looked out the window, I would save myself $7.99 a month. The only other family I have here in the UK is my uncle Brian. He's an older man, and he lives, because he's been here for a long number of years, he lives in quite a plush part of London. This is all grown up around him. He lives in a place called Covent Garden. It's right in the centre, and it's all, you know, lovely all around. It's all lovely shops. It's all, you know, Joe Malone and Charlotte Tilbury on MAC makeup, all this stuff. And if you can't imagine somebody who is less interested in that stuff than my elderly uncle Brian. He couldn't, it just goes completely over his head. And he comes out to Hackney, where I live, where I am surrounded by such brands as Paddy Powers, Ladbrokes. And he comes out to me and he says, "This place is fucking wasted on you. I love it." It's one of the things I think we've lost a lot, I guess, in lockdown. It seems like with the pandemic, certain phrases. I was up at the shop there recently and queuing to get in, and a man started to get frustrated in the queue. He said, he goes, "Hey mate," he said, "I'm not standing here for the good of my health." And everyone else in the queue said, "Actually, I think that's what we're all standing here for the good of their health." Actually, the only people who are doing things that aren't for the good of their health are people who don't take the vaccine. They're the ones who can use that phrase now. The other thing we haven't talked about either is, I guess it's women's reproduction and the time, you know, because women have a certain amount of time in their lives to reproduce. And, you know, if you're single, lockdown, it's time that you're not out meeting somebody and, you know, maybe doing the thing of having a baby. It's not really fair of me to be complaining because I've never been particularly on it in that way in my life. I've never been on, you know, reproduction. Some women are all over it, you know, they're all, you know, I think it was easier when you were younger. It was easier when, you know, when there just wasn't so much technology. But now there's so much to know about, you know, like IVF, you know, UVA, all the things, you know, that you know, you can be buying to reproduce. But mine is basically, as it's not very complicated. What am I doing? I'm basically waiting until my final period and then just seeing who's around. That's I do get upset about women's stuff, though. I have to say, one of the things that's been bothering me lately is the whole way that we use titles for women still. Though we still have to, you know, say whether we're married or single or not in things. Booking a flight now, you have to select from a drop-down list: Mrs., Ms., Miss. It doesn't, that information does not seem necessary unless they're too chicken to ask us the question they really want to ask, which is, if we lose you, will anyone care? Are there any repercussions for us if we don't, you know, return you in the condition in which we have any backup at all in this lonely world? Because I think the answer you give to that question tells them everything they need to know. If they see Mrs. on the form, they're like, "Holy shit, stand to attention, clean the fucking plane. We've got a married woman on the flight." You know, while if it's Miss, they're like, "She's not that important, but she's probably quite small and thin, so we could fit her in the overhead." Woe betide the woman who puts Ms. in on that form, because she is basically saying, "Me, I'm a cantankerous old bitch. Male relatives left. I have definitely alienated them all, so you could tie me to the wing and nobody will get What am I missing? I'm missing one of the things that I've had too much now of in lockdown is towels. It's all towels now these days. You know, I'm really down to go back into a public building and use a hand dryer in a place, you know, and just, I'm a big fan of the hand dryers that have been out lately, you know, because I think we can all agree, you know, that, you know, the ones that we had when we were growing up, they weren't up to much. The only good thing about the old ones was you could turn the nozzle up to face you and pretend to be Bonnie Tyler for a few seconds. Then about 4 years ago, everything changed. They turned that whole industry, they just turned it around overnight, it seemed like. I think we could look back on this time and maybe not even remember Trump or Brexit. We'll say it was a golden era for hand dryers. How did it take us so long to realize that more air was the solution? I'm a big fan of a thing called the Dyson Airblade. I think it's an amazing piece of technology for loads of reasons. One is that it has cut the time of drying our hands from 47 seconds down to just 10 seconds. Ooh. 77% performance improvement. I don't know of any other industry that is making gains of that size. For that reason, I wouldn't even cheapen it with a joke. The other thing it has done is that it has changed the position that our hands are in when they're drying. They used to be up here in constant motion, like you were some kind of evil genius in the toilet. Now our hands are down here, they're out in the open, which means that the bloodshed can end. But the real reason I love the Dyson Airblade is that there's a moment now when you're drying your hands, when you get to watch your own flesh being blown around your bones, and you suddenly become aware of how fragile life actually is. Like, I need to get my shit together. I could die any second. I am very, very important. Guys, you have been an absolute treat to talk to. I want to say thank you for having me on, and thank you to all the people who are doing such great work in the comedy industry. It's very bringing a great sense of optimism to everything, and thank you for the donations. And I think I will hand you back to Eve. So have a lovely lockdown. I will see you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eleanor. That was amazing. So funny. Thanks a million. And thanks so much for being our amazing headline act. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone. That is the end of the show. We're over 12,000. Thank you all so very much. Thank you so much. Also, you know, you can keep donating for the entire night and week and month, whatever you want to do. All the money's going to go to DRCC. So thank you all so very much for supporting this show, for supporting DRCC, for supporting Comedy Safety Standards. Really appreciate it. One more time for all of the acts. One more massive round of applause for all of the acts. Okay, that's it. Thank you all so very much. Good night. Bye. Bye.